Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of our CAT 2020 series. Firstly, congratulations on going through the first big step and taking that CAT examination. In this episode, we'll talk about the next big step. But first, let's introduce who we have with us today. My name is Anish, and we have with us Aditi, Saurabh, Akhil, and Savio. So I'll let these guys shed some light about how they prepared themselves for this next step.
So, Anish, I think the first and foremost step in this process is the application, right? Now, the problem is most people don't pay much heed to the application because it's just the application. But what people fail to understand is that this is the first step towards your interview, right? To have a good interview, you need to have a good application because this is going to act like your resume. And your interviewer is going to ask you questions from this application. So, making sure that the content that you put into it is spot on is very, very important, right? So, giving time to it, actually dedicating time of how you write your application is very important. So yes, that would be the first step in going about this process.
Absolutely. And given that the application, is the first big interaction with our dream B school, it
Hmm.
becomes even more vital to get that on point. But then we have to start somewhere, right? So where do we start making that perfect application?
The first and foremost step is introspection. And for that, what I did was I sat down with a pen and paper and I tried to write down everything that I've done, right from my schooling up to my work ex. During this step, you need not worry about whether that point will add value to your SOP or not. It's important that you just have list of things that you would need.
Nice point, Aditi. But during my process last year, I felt that introspection is a tedious process and it is not an easy task. So what I did it, I segregated what I want to write into different buckets. So this buckets could be your extracurricular activities, your co-curricular activities, or any achievement related to your professional life or your academic achievements. And then if it adds value, you can definitely include that in your SOP.
Wow, great advice. I wish I had known these while I was filling out my form, right? But then one problem that I faced, and I'm sure all of you will agree that we sort of lose ourselves. We don't know the way ahead. There comes a roadblock, right? So how do we deal with these kind of roadblocks?
I completely agree with you, Anish. Yes, while preparing this, while we are preparing for this application form, we sometimes hit on a roadblock. I personally had actually, gone through this process, like where I hit a roadblock and I was not sure of how to go ahead, how to overcome that. So at this point, what the one thing that I have done is that I reached out to my friends and reached out to my family members who know me better. So they give you suggestions, and that way you will actually able to overcome that quite easier compared to you're trying to do it on your own self.
Agreed, Akhil. I mean, the family members are the ones who know us inside out and are the best people to guide us through this process. Now we have all the points we need for that application round. So how do we trim it down to what's relevant and what's not for an application?
So while you are writing your SOP, you need to have some stated end objective from your MBA in your mind. So maybe you have that particular specialization or a list of specialization in your mind, and then you can look at your bucket, whatever you have put into those buckets, and you can relate it to what you want to achieve after your MBA. And if those things relate, you can definitely put them in your SOP, and rest you can like leave them out.
Yeah, and in addition to what Saurabh has already told us, I think I would suggest everyone to just wait for 24 hours before you submit your SOP. And after those 24 hours, just go through it with a fresh mind so that you know if there is anything that needs to be added or to be cut out. And this will really help you refine your SOP.
I completely agree with you, Aditi. And there's one more thing that I have done on my own as well. That uh, we are going through this process for the first time, right? And there are already people who have gone through this already. Like the people who are pursuing MBA right now, or the people who have passed out of MBA, right? So you can actually reach out to your friends, or your anyone that you know who have you have gone through this process already, and they can actually give you a lot of valuable inputs in this.
That is actually really great advice, guys. In every application, most of the applications, there will come a section where they'll ask you about your strengths and weaknesses. Now, while introspecting will mostly, come across a lot of strengths. In my case, the case was that I could not come across, sort of pinpoint on my weaknesses, and I was struggling on that. So how do we find out what our weaknesses are?
So, before trying to find out our weakness, it's important to understand why we are required to put down those weaknesses there. Any B school would like to look down at your human part. They want to know how you are as a human, and especially about your weaknesses. They want to see whether you're working on them or not. So, even I faced trouble while trying to jot down my weaknesses. So, the best way that I found out was talk with your friends, your family, and especially your colleagues, because they have seen you while you were working, and that would be of great help.
Yes, one more point that I would like to add here is that, while you're preparing for the weaknesses, do not overdo it. Like, let's say you have written down a 5 to 6 strengths. Now don't go ahead and write down more than 5 or 6 weaknesses as well, because that will hamper the balance, right? Also, whenever you write any, like, let's say you're writing 2 or 3 weaknesses in your application, right? Make sure that you have a plan for it, like, make sure you have an action plan on that you are working on those, that specifies that you are working on those weaknesses to overcome them.
Yeah, I would like to also add one more point at this point, right? It's kind of a disclaimer that sometimes when we are adding weaknesses, we tend to add weaknesses that are actually not weaknesses. Like, for instance, I am over punctual or I am very hardworking. Guys, these are not weaknesses, right? Try to be genuine to yourself and to the person who's reading your application. It is very vital that, and if you try to lie, they will see right through you. And that's not what you want, right? So do try to be genuine and try to stick to, like how Akhil said, a minimum number of weaknesses. You don't need to go overboard and tell them everything, right? But something that is relevant, something that you're working on, try to bring that into the picture, and it would be, it would make a wholesome application then only.
Absolutely. So we mostly have covered most of the points that we have to go through while submitting the application, before submitting the application. But then we, after submitting the application and before going into that interview room, do you guys suggest we do something else as well to get us, better prepared for the interview?
So first of all, nicely pointed, Anish, because I also felt last year that this phase between when you submit your application till the time you go for your interviews is very crucial. So what I did last year is I started reading a lot of newspapers, and when I say newspapers, I used to read these editorials. So this editorial used to give me an idea about what's happening in the country and what's happening globally, so that I could form my opinion around those issues. Also for this interview preparation, I feel like students can read about some journal terms about the MBA. Like they could read about what is inflation, what is GDP, or what is the difference between marketing and sales, or what is the difference between customer and consumer. So these are pretty much basic questions that every interviewer asks, so this could be handy in your interview as well.
To add to Saurabh's point, these things will help you with your next big step, that is your VAT. And in addition to this, what you guys can do is maybe just discuss with your peers whatever you have read through the day, and try to jot down a summary on paper that will help you with improving your writing skills. But one important thing that you guys have to keep in mind is your writing should reflect what opinion do you hold about that topic.
Absolutely, yeah. So in between these two, right, like reading the newspaper and preparing for that, please don't forget about preparing for your actual interview, right? Questions like tell me about yourself or why MBA, and don't do things over your mind. Write it down. It is important that you write it down and use your application as inspiration. This is a sheet that has all the content that you need. You just need to segregate and pick them out and answer these questions, and that will help you a lot in your interview process.
Thank you guys for your valuable inputs. I'm sure the audience will have certain key takeaways from this. So few things to keep in mind while you go out and fill the application form is that you'll have to spend a lot of time introspecting. So having said that, please start early. And even if you have hit a roadblock, don't worry about it. Just go to your friends or families, because they are the best people to help you out. And as for the questions Savio mentioned about the questions that are asked in an interview, like why are you doing an MBA, or tell me about yourself, right? We'll cover all these questions and a lot more in our next video that we are specifically focusing on the interview itself. In the meanwhile, if you want us to make another video on the VAT process, feel free to put your comments below. And thank you guys for joining again, and good luck.